Is Samsung playing it too safe with the Galaxy Z Fold 7? That's what many fans are starting to ask after a new leaked photo of the upcoming foldable surfaced online. The image, which appeared on the Chinese platform Weibo, shows a device that looks strikingly similar to last year's Galaxy Z Fold 6. And naturally, that's left a lot of people wondering, what's really new this time? From what we can see in the leaked image, the Fold 7 doesn't offer a major visual shift. The camera layout, rear panel design, and overall shape seem nearly identical to its predecessor. While some users might appreciate this familiar look, others were clearly hoping for something more exciting, especially considering the fast pace at which smartphone design usually evolves. But that doesn't mean Samsung hasn't made any changes. In fact, there are some subtle design tweaks that might make a big difference in everyday use. One of the more noticeable ones is the shift away from the metallic borders seen on the Fold 6. Instead, the Fold 7 might be getting a titanium backplate. This new material could help make the phone slimmer and noticeably lighter, which is a big plus for a foldable device that already leans toward the bulky side. Another minor change is the repositioning of the camera flash. It has reportedly been moved slightly lower, which isn't a groundbreaking change by any means, but it does show Samsung is still refining the small details. There's also a new color option in the works, a soft, icy blue finish. It's clean, subtle, and different from the typical black or gray shades we've seen before, so it might attract users who want something a little more refined. Still, most of these visual changes are quite minimal, and that might be disappointing for those who were hoping for a fresh, bold look. But while the design doesn't scream innovation, the real story might be what's happening inside the device. Based on multiple reports, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 will likely come with an 8.2-inch inner screen and a 6.5-inch outer screen. Both are said to be slightly taller and wider than the Fold 6, which could improve usability without making the phone feel too bulky. The inner display might also come with a reduced crease, which has been a long-standing issue with foldables. Performance-wise, Samsung isn't holding back. The Fold 7 is expected to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, branded here as the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. That should offer noticeable gains in speed and power efficiency. As for the camera, we could be looking at a 200-megapixel main sensor, yes, 200 megapixels, which could bring major improvements in photo detail and clarity. The battery is likely to stay at 4,400 mAh, which isn't a massive jump, but should still support a full day of use with some careful management. Combined with a thinner frame and lighter build, Samsung seems focused on refining the user experience rather than reinventing it. Of course, the challenge with these kinds of upgrades is that many of them won't be obvious at first glance. And that might explain why some fans are feeling underwhelmed. If you care about internal performance, durability, and usability, the Fold 7 might be one of the best foldables yet. But if you were expecting a bold new design, this version may fall short of those expectations. The official reveal isn't far off. Samsung is expected to launch the Galaxy Z Fold 7 in early July at its Summer Galaxy Unpacked event. That's when we'll get all the confirmed specs, new features, and most importantly, the price tag. So what's your take on all this? Do you think these upgrades are enough to call it a true next-gen foldable? Or does it feel more like a Fold 6.5 then? A Fold 7? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Could Samsung be finally turning things around with its own Exynos chips? After years of trailing behind Qualcomm's Snapdragon processors, it looks like Samsung might be planning a strong comeback with the Exynos 2600. This new chip is rumored to power at least some models of the upcoming Galaxy S26 series, and for once, it may actually be able to compete. In the past, Samsung has struggled to keep Exynos on the same level as Snapdragon. Part of the problem hasn't been the chip's design, but more about how it's manufactured. The Exynos 2500 was originally expected to debut in the Galaxy S25 lineup, but that never happened. The main issue came from Samsung Foundry, the part of the company responsible for making the chips. They couldn't produce enough working units because of low yield rates, meaning too many chips in each batch were faulty or unusable. However, recent reports suggest that Samsung's chip-making process is finally improving. The company's new 2-nanometer technology is starting to show, Better results. Yield rates have reportedly reached between 40% and 50%, and while that's not perfect, it's much better than before. In the world of chip manufacturing, 60% is often considered the point where mass production becomes reliable. Samsung is aiming to reach that target by November 2025, just in time to start producing the Exynos 2600 in larger quantities. If they succeed, there's a real chance that the Galaxy S26 series will bring back Exynos chips, at least in some regions. This wouldn't be the first time Samsung used different processors in the same phone depending on where it's sold. For example, the Galaxy S22 series shipped with Exynos in some parts of the world and Snapdragon in others. So it's quite possible Samsung will follow the same strategy again. Now let's look at what Qualcomm is doing. Their chips are made by TSMC, a company that has a strong track record in manufacturing. TSMC is already producing chips using the same 2-nanometer process, and their yield rates have reportedly crossed the 60% mark. That gives them a head start. Qualcomm's new Snapdragon 8 Elite is already being used in top Android phones, so the competition is still fierce. But the progress Samsung is making shouldn't be ignored. The company clearly wants to reduce its reliance on Qualcomm by building better chips in-house. That also gives Samsung more control over its devices, from the screen to the processor inside. If the Exynos 2600 can deliver solid performance and improve power efficiency, it could make a serious difference in future Galaxy devices. Still, Samsung isn't quite there yet. Hitting consistent production at 60% or more is key. The next few months will be important as Samsung continues to fine-tune its process. If all goes well, we could see the Exynos 2600 not just return in some markets, but possibly make a bigger impact globally. While a complete switch might not happen right away, this could be the beginning of a bigger shift. It's also worth mentioning that public opinion plays a role. Many users still prefer Snapdragon, mainly because of better past performance and battery life. But if Samsung can prove that Exynos has improved, it might start to change how people feel about it. So, would you be open to buying a Galaxy S26 powered by the new Exynos chip, or are you still more comfortable with Snapdragon? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to keep getting updates on new tech and what's coming next in smartphones, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Apple has teased the launch of a new Air device, sparking speculation about what it could be. While many expect a MacBook Air refresh, there is growing interest in the possibility of a new iPhone Air. The teaser came from Apple CEO Tim Cook, who posted a cryptic video along with the phrase, "There's something in the air." This has led to discussions about whether Apple is planning to introduce a thinner, lighter iPhone model under the Air branding. The idea of an iPhone Air would align with recent trends in smartphone design. Many manufacturers are focusing on making devices slimmer and lighter while maintaining high performance. If Apple is indeed planning an iPhone Air, it could feature a more compact and lightweight build compared to the standard iPhone lineup. It might also include design elements that set it apart, such as a smaller notch or even the rumored under-display Face ID technology that Apple has been working on. An iPhone Air could fill a gap in Apple's lineup by offering a high-end device that prioritizes portability